Hello, good morning guys. This is Ram. So I will explain the difference between the overloading and overloading function. So most of the people have this confusion of what is overloading and what is overriding. Okay, let me give a demo for you. Like what is overloading and then what is overriding. Okay, so let me write a class A. In that I will be creating two methods. uh, Let me put like this: static int add. Static is the type, integer is a data type, static is a scope. Once you declare static, the memory location will be same throughout the program, comma int a comma int b. Since I have declared the data type integer, I need to return it by using return keyword. Return a plus b. Okay, similarly I will create one more function, the same function name, then only the overloading happens, but I'm adding a parameter like this, and then I'm return a plus b plus c. Now what is the difference between the first two functions? I have just added a third parameter, so I'm overloading a function add with extra parameter. So overloading happens when you change the data type or when you add a new parameter, then only the overloading happens. Okay, so overloading happens within the class, not outside the class. So this is the basic difference between the overloading and overriding function. Overloading happen within the class. So within a class I have created two methods. One is add with the two parameters, and another is again add with three parameters. So the requirement for overloading to be happen is the function name should be same, and the data type of the function name of the parameters should be same, and the number of parameters might vary. Because of that, overloading happens. So in the second function, the overloading happens by adding a third parameter. Now what I did is I have created two methods. Now in the main function, so in Java everything you call under main function. Okay, so in the sysout I'll just call a, since a is a class name, add int a comma b. So instead of the values, instead of the parameters, I will put the values. Similarly I will call the second function so this is what overloading happens. So I have declared a class A with the two methods add of different parameters, and in the main function I'm just adding it by giving the values. So in the first sysout the output will be 20, and in the second will be the first will call this function and the second will call this function. The control, when you click here, it's going to the second method because of the overloading happens. So once I execute this, it will display 20 and 30. So this is what the overloading happens. Overloading is nothing but a method. So requirement for overloading is same methods within the class having different parameters by changing the arguments, or we can also overload by changing the data type of a parameters. So this is what the overloading is. Now let's see what is overriding. Now overriding happens with across the classes. So generally inheritance comes into picture in overriding. So when you inherit, when a subclass inherits a parent class, and we have a same methods in both subclass and a parent class, then overriding happens. So overriding, the subclass method will override the parent class method, then the overriding happens. So let me declare a class, maybe I will not declare as a public here. So let again a class A. here I will declare one function. I will not return anything. I will just put a sysalt. Hi. Maybe A. Since under package, I have already declared a class A, so these are redundant. So I have declared A1. Okay. So I have a class OverRiding. This is my subclass, and this is my parent class. Parent class, and this is my child class. Now in the child class, what I do is I use extends keyword A1. And then in this I will declare a method again, void run. Unless until you don't declare the same function, it will not overwrite. Okay, so instead of hi, I will put hello. Okay, and then public static void main, because in the main function you will call everything. And then I will create an object for subclass. OverRiding O is equal to new OverRiding. So class name object is equal to new class name. Whenever you do like this, object will be created. O is an object for the class OverRiding. So whenever you create an object for a class, it means that you can invoke all the methods, all the variables from that particular method, from the particular class. So O dot, if I put, it will run. So when I run this, it will print this, because the child class run, the child class method run will override the parent class run. That's why this hello will be replaced. Hello will be replacing this hi. Okay, so that's why I created an object, and through that object I'm just invoking the class overriding function method, that is run. Okay, so when I run this, it will print hello. So this was the basic difference of overloading and overriding function. Overloading happens within the classes. Within the class, when you have multiple methods, so it can happen by changing the parameters or by changing the data type. Overriding happens across the classes when you have multiple classes, and when you are extending by using inheritance concept, and when you have same function in both child class and parent class, then the child class function will override the parent class function, and then the overriding happens. Now I want a scenario where I want to invoke the parent class method instead of child. In that case, you need to use super keyword. Okay, so otherwise the child class method will replace the parent class method. So this was the basic difference of overriding and overloading function. Okay, so thanks for listening this. If you want Java training classes, just drop a mail to k.raghu1989@gmail.com.